Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to swap the shell on the Xbox One trigger. This also works on the Xbox Series S and X controllers, but I was trying to find a tutorial for this on YouTube, could not find one, so I may as well just upload one here. So this will also include just the main disassembly of an Xbox One / Series X S controller. And so we're just going to get started. So as you can see here, I already have one shell removed. These little, I guess, shells, you can call them, just pop off of the Xbox One controller. There is no screws, there isn't any of that. You have to be a bit rough with them, but the plastic tabs are near indestructible, so believe me, you will be fine. And so what I usually do is I just get under the trigger with something kind of big, I guess. So I have a long Phillips head screwdriver, which will work. So what I will just do is kind of get in there by pushing down the trigger. I might need 2 hands for this, but I can attempt it with one. Yep, I will. Here. I want to at least try to do this. So if I can just, here, maybe just put this down for a minute. And let me just get it under first, because then the process gets a lot easier. As you can see, you just push the trigger down, and you pretty much just pry through the actual controller itself. Gotta be a bit rough with it again, but they're indestructible. You don't have to worry about breaking the plastic, and it'll just pop off. Grab it, and there you will have 5 T8 security bits to remove. And the security bit means it has a little, I don't know if you can see that, a tiny little hole in the middle of the screw. So normal screwdrivers will not be, normal T8 screwdrivers will not be able to open it. You will have to probably get a little security bit like this, which are easy to find, but most people don't have them. Or what you can just do is get a flathead and actually just pop it off, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. I like pop the little bit in the middle off and then use your normal T8. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just buy the normal one. But hey, if you're desperate, you need to get it done now, and you know you're never going to do this again, then hey, that works too. And this is pretty much the, I guess, the not hardest part, but the most long and grueling part of it, which is nice. So move one, and come on, just trying to do this with one hand here. Trying to hold my phone in the other because, you know, oh hey, I'm just bored, so I might as well upload it to YouTube anyway. Most of you are probably really confused why I'm doing it on this channel. I have actually a repair channel that I never upload to. I think the last time I uploaded to it was, God, a few months ago, and that series didn't even kick off. I was trying to fix a Wii, but I actually just ended up using it for scrap for a GameCube, surprisingly. But I just couldn't find a tutorial on YouTube, and I find this quite useful if you're wanting to customize your controllers, which I think is pretty annoying. So I just thought I'd do it here, because, you know, my T8 screwdriver also is pretty garbage, because the one that I actually normally use, it's just a tip that I normally use, but it actually rusted, so it is currently sitting in vinegar right now, which can get rid of rust. Leave it for a few hours. But most of you probably aren't listening. That's fine. Just skipping to when the actual part of the video is. Maybe I already have a disassembled controller by me. This guy, actually. But I thought I'd just do it from scratch because I need to open up this one anew. So once you remove the 5 screws here, which, by the way, you will need to probably poke through a sticker. It's normally here. Just poke through it. It will void a warranty if you care about that. But you have a screw here, 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 and back there. And once those are all gone, the shell will just lift off, and you will be greeted with this hideous sight. It probably won't look exactly like this, especially if you're using a Series X controller, but from there, what we just want to do is we just want to get the triggers out at this point. We don't really care. So what you probably just want to do for good sake is just pull out these analog sticks. They just come off. And remove this bit because these two also kind of get lost together. And the bottom shell also comes off just like that with no other screws needed. This is where you will find the back of the controller. This is what we want to get to anyway soon. But for now, if you're using an older Xbox One controller, this doesn't apply to you. I believe there's a bit of a different way to do it on that. But there will be two little things here. I don't know if you can see that, these guys, that you just would pry under like that, and like that. And then this little bit will just come off real easy, like that. This little plastic guy. Leave that to the side. And there you will see your micro USB or USB-C if you're using the newer controllers. But I believe this is when the tutorial gets a bit different for the controllers, but you know, this is for the Xbox One anyway. And we want to remove these bumpers now, which they really do just come off with a bit of force. There we go. And this is when we can finally do this. As you can see, the triggers can move completely free, do pretty much a kind of a, like, gonna go upside down, 180. Oh, did not know this was here. So you will normally not see a screw like this there. I don't know why that was there, but it was. But this is where you can actually swap the shell. So you will actually have to get a smaller screwdriver. I use a T6. I believe this is the T6. No, this is a traveling screwdriver for something else. Great. My T6, here it is. Security bit still. However, the security bit is no longer required for when you get the innards of the controller. But just get a T6. And you will see there is just one screw right there. This little white guy on the trigger. You just unscrew that real quickly. It's hard to do this one-handed. And then once you have that screw kind of out, you will pretty much just be able to pop the shell off. It just kind of comes out. There you go. You have your shell. Plop a new one on there if you probably want to. And make sure that all the components are still on the same place. That's how they should look. And yeah, reassemble it. And there you go. That's how you take off and replace the little shell for the trigger.